Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Tuesday, June 27, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link to our Patreon in the description and comments section below. Houston Astros vs St. Louis Cardinals. Houston held off a sweep by the Dodgers when they took Game 3 with a final count of 6-5. The contest required extra innings, but an 11th inning RBI single by Alex Bregman sealed the win. Houston finished with 10 hits on the day and were boosted by 2-run shots from Jeremy Pena and Jose Abreu. Hunter Brown got the start for Houston, and over 6 innings he struck out 7 and gave up 1 run. LHP Framber Valdez is due to take the mound for his 6th road start of the season. Valdez has thrown well on the road, sitting on a 2.73 ERA and logging 36 Ks over 33 innings thrown. During night games his ERA has dropped a little, but his K rate is a bit higher and he's holding opponents to just .224 in the box. The lefty has allowed 6 home runs on the season, but during the course of June he hasn't given up a single bomb and has allowed only 6 runs over 27 innings. Historically, Valdez has had some ball control issues, but he's kept that in check for the most part this season, as he's walking just 1.91 batters over 9 innings pitched. With his K rate sitting a multi-year high and his home run rate well below his career average, the 29-year-old will look to lean on both as they open the series on the road against St. Louis. St. Louis split at home against the Chicago Cubs, and Game 2 featured 7-run 12-hit affair from the Cardinals, with Wilson Contreras going 4-4 at the plate. Nolan Gorman was the only other Cardinal to log multiple hits. It was largely a bullpen game for St. Louis, with Matthew Liberatore getting the start. Liberatore threw for 2.1 innings and gave up 4 runs while striking out 3. As of this writing, the Cardinals haven't elected who will open the series up at home against the Astros. On the season, the Cardinals pitching staff has largely underperformed at home as they're posting their highest collective ERA at 4.66. During the month of June that number has climbed up to 4.80. While St. Louis has done a bang-up job in terms of limiting home runs this season, sitting third as a group, they found themselves sitting 29th in the league in hits allowed per 9 innings pitched. What's more, St. Louis is also sitting in the bottom 10 in strikeouts thrown per game. This could be troublesome against an Astros team that sits top 10 in this metric offensively. During night games the Cardinals have tended to throw a little better, and they are holding opposing batters to .271 in the box. This is also a split best for the St. Louis bullpen. If St. Louis wants to see their hot streak continue, they'll need to lean on the strengths of the pitching staff and not be exposed from their weaknesses. The Cardinals have not been a good home team this season, with a record of 14-22. They have also struggled in series openers, with a record of 6-19. Valdez has been pitching well all season, and he has not allowed a home run this month. The Astros have not been hitting well, but the Cardinals' bullpen has not been reliable. The Astros have good plate discipline, so they should be able to get hits off the Cardinals' pitchers. I would take Houston as the road favorite in this game. As noted, Valdez has thrown the ball well over the course of June, and he'll face a Cardinals offense that's on pace for their worst month of hitting of the season. The recent win accumulation by St. Louis points to some disparities, given their below-average hitting and inconsistent pitching. The St. Louis offense should revert back to their mean and will be stymied by Valdez. The Astros have hit well during June, but their inability to hit for extra bases should slow their offense. Given that St. Louis has thrown better during night outings, their pitching staff should be able to reel the Astros in and hold this game under the total. The play is the under 8. Detroit Tigers vs Texas Rangers. The Tigers have gone 6-4 over their last 10 games and are desperately staying in contention in the AL Central, 5.5 games behind the Minnesota Twins on Monday. Detroit dropped 2 out of 3 over the weekend to the Twins, missing out on a golden opportunity to gain ground. The Tigers led Sunday's rubber match 3-2 entering the 8th inning, but a costly error allowed Minnesota to tie the game and eventually go on to win in 10 innings. Right fielder Zach McKinstry drove in Detroit's first 2 runs with a double in the 3rd inning and eventually came around to score on an RBI single by designated hitter Kenny Carpenter. Reliever Brendan White, 1-1, was ultimately tagged with a loss, though, allowing 3 runs on 3 hits in the 10th inning. Despite the loss, Texas still holds a 5.5 game lead over the Houston Astros in the AL West standings, thanks in part to the play of Heim and shortstop Corey Seager over the past month. Seager is batting .353 with 6 home runs and 28 RBI during that span, while Heim has raised his average to .283 and is now second on the team with 55 RBI this season. Designated hitter Adolis Garcia continues to lead Texas with 60 RBI and 17 home runs, while second baseman Marcus Semien is hitting .278 with a team-best 62 runs scored. Collectively, the Rangers' offense has arguably been the best in baseball this season. They rank first with 5.9 runs per game and a .272 team batting average. Texas is third in ops, .795, and eighth in home runs, 102. On the mound, Martin Perez will be looking for his third consecutive quality start on Tuesday after hitting a rough patch in late May and early June. Perez is 7-3 with a 4.38 ERA and a 1.45 WHIP and has won his last two starts. He last threw 7 innings and allowed 2 earned runs while defeating the Chicago White Sox on Wednesday. The 2022 All-Star is 82-80 with a 4.43 ERA in his 12-year MLB career. The Rangers have lost 3 of their last 5 games, so the Tigers may be able to steal a win on Tuesday. Martin Perez has a history of struggling against the Tigers, and he allowed 6 earned runs in 4.2 innings in his last start against them. In his career, Perez is 2-5 with a 6.47 ERA against Detroit in 12 appearances. His 5.70 ERA against the AL Central is also the highest against any division in baseball. Perez has been roughed up in 2 of his last 5 starts, so the Tigers have a good chance to score some runs against him. The Tigers are 40-36 against the run line this season, and they have won 6 of their last 10 games. I think they will cover the run line as underdogs in this game. Like the over in this game. Between Perez's historic struggles against Detroit coupled with the fact that the Rangers have the 23rd worst bullpen ERA in the major leagues, I see a path to the Tigers scoring a lot of runs in this game. Despite their offensive limitations this season, the over is actually 40-34 this season in Detroit's games, and it has hit in 3 of their last 4 road contests. The Rangers have an even more impressive mark, with the over going 40-37 in their games this season. Texas averages the most hits per game and has the highest on-base percentage in baseball, making them a threat to hang a big number on the board every night. With Perez coughing up a team-high 13 home runs already, I like the Tigers' chances of pushing this game over the run total. I'm siding with the over. Philadelphia Phillies vs Chicago Cubs. Philadelphia is set to start left-hander who's 1-2 with a 3.50 ERA, while in his last start, he went 6 innings, allowing 1 run on 4 hits against the Atlanta Braves. On the road this season, he's 1-1 with a 2.19 ERA in 4 starts, while in his last 5 starts, he's 1-1 with a 1.38 ERA, but against the Cubs this season, in 1 start, he went 2 innings, allowing 4 runs on 5 hits and walked 3. As a pitching staff, Philadelphia has a team ERA of 4.19 which ranks 16th. Chicago played 2 games in England against the Cardinals after splitting the 2 games. This season, the Cubs are slashing .248, .329, .401, while in the month of June are slashing .232, .319, .373, while against the Phillies slash .212, .319, .374, and against left-handers slash .261, .336, .438. Against Suarez, Madrigal and Mancini are 1-1, Gomez and Barnhart are 1-3, Suzuki is 2-4, while Happ bats .222 and 9 abs. The Cubs are expected to start right-hander Jamison Taillon, who's 2-5 with a 6.71 ERA, while in his last start, the right-hander went 5.1 innings, allowing 4 runs on 8 hits against the Orioles. In his last 5 starts, he's 2-2 with a 5.33 ERA, while against the Phillies this season, he went 2.1 innings allowing 8 runs, 6 earned, on 6 hits, and allowed 2 homers. As a pitching staff, the Cubs have a team ERA of 3.93 which ranks 10th. I recommend betting on the Phillies on the moneyline. Both starting pitchers, Suarez and Taillon, have struggled against their respective opponents this season. However, the Phillies have been playing better recently, and their bullpen has been shutting down games. Suarez has also been pitching better as of late, and I expect him to keep the Phillies in the game. The Cubs just returned from England, and they may be feeling the effects of jet lag. This could give the Phillies an advantage, as they will be more well-rested. Overall, I think the Phillies are the better team, and I expect them to win this game. I also like the over in this matchup as Taillon has struggled in his starts, while the Cubs have been able to hit Suarez hard. Although I do expect a better outing from Suarez here, the Cubs still should be able to score a couple of runs off of him, while Philadelphia should be able to crush Taillon and Chicago's lackluster bullpen. This season, the Phillies are 29-41-7 in hitting the over, but we have seen both Suarez and Taillon be hit hard by each team. Philadelphia's offense is also finally coming into its groove, and Taillon and the Cubs bullpen is a perfect spot to take the over.